Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jade Monkey. We're back here in Rust, talking about that Rust console edition for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, next generations, and everything in between. And this is a topic today that we talked about quite a bit. I know we're all excited for it, but it's about custom servers, and is it on the next update? And, you know, straight up, I think it's 50-50, honestly. We're talking about March 2022, just in case people come across this video later. But we do have a mysterious update that's going to be coming for our PTB servers, which are the playtest branch or public testing branch, which is a test bed, separate download before it hits main branch. But it's basically ushering in new content before it hits main branch. So it gives us a nice preview. So we know it's not going to be electricity. They outright said that for March for the PTB. And there's been a blurb about the custom servers, which makes me go, man, it's either going to be in this next PTB update or it's going to be very, very soon. As we do know, this is a feature. Would it be a feature? That's been requested quite a bit. I know we're looking forward to it. So we're going to go over what we do know about custom servers, some of the information where we're like, maybe it's on this next PTB update. And if not, it's got to be soon because we've been waiting for this for so long, and it's definitely super requested. And again, we'll show you some of the info we have, some potential options that we might see for that. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Right away, again, as I said, the next update, it's not going to be minicopters, and it's not going to be hot air balloons, or I guess it could be hot air balloons. Or it could be a horse. We know it's not going to be a minicopter. So we're like, it was interesting that they brought up custom servers. And we're like, hey, maybe, right? And here's why we say that, right? So on the, was it the offshore blowout piece? It was interesting as they went through a bunch of different things here. They did bring up community servers yet again. So let's go ahead and read this blurb if you haven't already seen it. It says, community servers are one of the most requested features from you. And rest assured that they are being worked on as we speak. And again, this is March 2022 and February. It says we do have some new information to share. While the server team has been progressing on optimizing memory usage, our design team has been planning a new UI for creating and managing a server within the game. Bear with us, there's still more work to be done until this feature is ready. Rest assured though, this is a priority for us. So on that same note, a priority, and this goes back to another piece that they answered. This is Pedro. He went through this other blurb, and I'm sure you guys saw this on another video, but he said updates like Oil Rig and Tech Tree are also had a lot more requests, so we prioritize them since the impact is much bigger to the players. Now, with that last piece we saw here, there was more movement where nobody was talking about it. Well, they were talking about it, but not directly for the Oil Rig stuff. It was interesting that they brought that up. We do know that they prioritize it based off of this little blurb here. So we're like, hey, well, it does make sense that it could be for this, and the fact that they're taking a hot second to push it out in March, we're like, huh. You know, again, like I said, 50-50. I hope that it is, and if it's not, I hope it's very soon, because I know it's something that we've all really been looking forward to. We might as well already cover this now. We will be running custom servers. When this does occur, we will let you know as soon as it does happen. What does that mean for you? So custom servers are going to cost money, real world money, to run for X amount of time. It's usually a month or so. They are a bit more expensive than the PC counterpart, as there's a whole nother layer there. There's Sony, there's Microsoft, and there's some other implications with that. So if you're like, hey, I don't have the money for that, don't worry about it. The Boyfriend Squad, myself, Razor2, BioLaser will be running our own servers. At least 2 that we can think of. Here's how it's going to work. And we'll go over some of the server stuff that we do know and some of the stuff we've come across here in a second. But what that means is, so if you don't have the money to do it, we'll be running a biweekly server that's more official rules, and then we'll have like an event server, and those are the 2 that we know we're going to have, and we could have more than that. So what that means is there'll be a hard wipe every 2 weeks, which is great. That's the most popular version of servers on the PC side, and it's like just enough time, but not too much time, if that makes sense. And obviously, the event server is going to be for stuff like live streams, and we'll be doing like big community stuff like base invaders, stuff like that. We'll be doing like little PvP arenas. It's going to be a blast. So again, another reason to subscribe and turn on those notifications, because we will be running that. We'll let you know as soon as those are up and how to find them, and it should be for both PlayStation and Xbox. Okay, I kind of lost my place here. Okay, so the servers, what we did find, and these are a bit old, so take these with a grain of salt here. We have one in the other room here, but we'll kind of go over some of these. So this was the first hosting screen, and I've been over this before as we first came in. And it's interesting to see that they have 2 tiers. And some of this will change. I think the player count is definitely going to change there. And the map size looks like it's going to change too, because we already have 3K maps now. But I thought it was interesting that it said full admin controls, including invincibility, kick ban players, and time settings and more, which we've already seen new this in action when we tested the oil rig. If you look up here, we did that live testing event, and we saw admins flying around, which is great, which is what we could do here. Watch me fly. Boop, boop. But we also saw them spawning in boats, which is stuff that we can also do here on the PC side, which was really exciting to actually see this in action. And this is the graveyard of boats that was left at the oil rig when we were done. But we actually saw the admins flying around, and that was really exciting because it's essentially progress for this. One of the main reasons why this has been lagging behind is they want to make sure the memory usage is where they want it to be. Now you're like, that doesn't really matter, I have a console, right? Yes, but they want to keep the cost down because the biggest cost of servers is the memory for each of those units or for the cluster, however they run it. So yeah, that's one of the main reasons why. But I mean, who knows? Maybe they fast-tracked this bad boy because they know, you know, high priority requested items would need to be pushed through, right? And I can't think of one more request that's, or one more feature that's requested than the custom servers itself. It's just going to open up so much. Like we're going to have, you know, bi-weekly servers. We're going to have solo duo servers. All kinds of really cool stuff. Anyways, let me go over some of this here, and I think we might be done with this piece. So the admin controls, we went over that. It's cool. We can set up PvP or PvE controls, so you can have just like a build server if you want to, and kind of tweak your own stuff. And again, to kind of sidetrack here for a second, I know we have build servers on testing branch. And they do exist. The only reasons why I think they haven't been pushed to main is because there needs to be tweaks. But who knows? If we get custom servers ahead of time, we could just make the tweaks ourselves. And you're like, well, what does that mean? Like, look at these starting kits for like the Builder's Paradise. You know, you've got super stacks over 1,000 for your resources. You've got, you know, TC and some tools and some clothing. So stuff like that. And again, these are from the build servers themselves. And again, those are in testing branch, a separate download. But I just thought that was interesting that, you know, if these do come in, we'll help bridge a lot of that stuff that people are looking for. You know, solo duo servers, stuff like that, because they have to be run by admins, active admins. Anyways, map sizes we went over. Player count, I think that's very subject to change there. As we do, we have seen player counts go all the way up to 100. And I would guess these are kind of based off of performance as well. Another interesting piece here is the map seed settings. That'll be interesting too, so we can kind of control that. Hopefully we have a bit more granular control. Granularity, I don't know if that's even a word, but more granular control. Monument choice, that's cool. And then starter packs is interesting too, and that brings up another point here that I forgot earlier. The fact that it's customizable for the performance package, and then you have 6 different types is very interesting. Quick before we go over to the starter pack thing here, or along those lines, it's interesting that we have 2 categories here, standard and performance. Now again, this could be completely different in the future. Maybe there's 3 tiers, maybe there's 2, maybe there's just 1. But I thought it was interesting that they cut these up. So they are worried about having these be like competitive or good prices. So that's a good sign, right, for us, the players, because if you're running your own server, you already know if you play DayZ or Ark or whatever on the console side, you know those can get a little pricey over time. So it's nice to see that they are cognizant of that. And the fact that they're trying to run their own servers should keep the cost down. Again, we have no idea what the pricing is going to be. Other than we've heard little snippets that we could be able to use Rust coins to rent those, which is pretty sweet. Again, we'll have to get more official news. By the way, when we do our custom servers, anybody who's a channel member will have first dibs on the server. It's still going to be open to everybody, but we may have it open to the members, the channel members, for like a week ahead of time, and so people can kind of get acclimated. Like for some of the events, that time may adjust a little bit depending like on the event server or whatever. But you know, it's just they have first dibs. It's more or less like a thank you. For everybody that's been supporting the channel above and beyond. But don't get me wrong, we are super grateful that everybody's been supporting our community. So we want to make sure that this is available for everybody. So once that little member period's up, then it's open to everyone, if that makes sense. We've done that kind of thing for DayZ, and it worked out really well. People really appreciated that. And again, it's like a nice way for us to say thank you for that above and beyond support, and also a thank you to our community so everybody can play with us. If you've done DayZ with us, you know exactly what we're talking about. So hopefully I described that well enough where you guys are like, oh, okay, that's cool. Okay, so that's what we have so far for custom servers. I want to like put an estimate down for this, but I really think it's 50-50. I mean, the fact that they talked about having just a little bit more work here, but it's been almost a month. Yeah, it's almost been a month since this came out, so they maybe had enough time for this UI. So I'm going to say roll the dice. It's real, or flip a coin. It's really going to be 50-50 for this, and if it's not, it's got to be soon, right? It has to be, because, I mean, this is the one we're all chomping at the bit for. So there you go. That's what I have so far for custom servers. Could they be next? And if you found it useful and helpful, be sure to drop a like, drop that subscribe, and turn on those notifications if you haven't already. And if you have, we do appreciate you. And that way you'll see the most up-to-date news. You'll also get to see us get waxed when we live stream. And, you know, rest assured, as soon as this hits, we're going to be live streaming stuff on the custom server, and it's going to be a blast. So we'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.